Here's a brief background history on the celebration of January 1st as the beginning of the new year. Ancient civilizations. The ancient Babylonians celebrated the start of their new year in mid-March, with the beginning of spring. The ancient Egyptians celebrated their new year with the annual flooding of the Nile River, usually around July or August. The ancient Greeks honored their god Dionysus in March or April, marking the beginning of spring. Roman influence. The ancient Romans originally celebrated their new year on March 1st, named after the god Mars. In 153 BCE, the Romans moved the start of their new year to January 1st to honor their god Janus, the god of beginnings and endings. In the 6th century, the Christian Church designated January 1st as a day of prayer and penance, but it wasn't widely observed as a celebration. Modern celebrations. In 1582, Pope Gregory XIII introduced the Gregorian calendar, which designated January 1st as the official start of the new year. The widespread adoption of the Gregorian calendar in the 17th and 18th centuries solidified January 1st as the global standard for the start of the new year. Today, January 1st is celebrated worldwide with fireworks, parties, and countdowns, marking the beginning of a new year and fresh start. Jewish calendar. During Jesus' time, the Jewish calendar was based on the lunar cycle, with months beginning on the new moon. The Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah, was celebrated on the first day of the 7th month, Tishrei, usually in September or October. The biblical roots of Rosh Hashanah can be found in Leviticus 23 verses 24 to 25, which commands the Israelites to observe a day of rest and memorial on the first day of the 7th month. During Jesus' time, the Jewish New Year celebrations were centered around the temple in Jerusalem, where biblical sacrifices were performed to mark the beginning of the new year. January 1st was not recognized as the beginning of the new year during Jesus' time. Instead, the Jewish community followed the lunar-based calendar, which placed the new year in the fall. Although the Roman Empire, which ruled over Judea during Jesus' time, celebrated the Roman New Year on January 1st, this had little impact on the Jewish community's observance of their own New Year celebrations. January 1st has pagan roots, as it was originally celebrated by the Romans in honor of their god Janus. January 1st is not a biblically mandated holiday or celebration. The way January 1st is often celebrated, with emphasis on parties, drinking, and materialism, may not align with Christian values. As a believer in Jesus, you're not being told to stop celebrating January 1st. Instead, be aware of its pagan roots and make an informed decision about how you choose to observe it. Celebrate with your eyes wide open, knowing the history behind the holiday.